Hello everyone. In today's video, I will cover three basic data types used very frequently in MATLAB, and that are double, strings, and characters. So before I start the tutorial, I would like to adjust my UI a bit. So first I want to save this current layout which I have, and I will click on Save Layout in the Layout tab and assign it a name, My Layout, so that I can switch into it whenever I want. So once you save it, you can see that my layout option is available here now. I want to work primarily with the command window and the workspace for this tutorial. So I will click on the two column button in the layout and I will minimize the current folder. And now I think we are ready to go. So double is basically the default numeric data type in MATLAB, which simply means that if I assign a variable an integer value of say 5 and I ask the MATLAB whose A to see its properties, then I can see that the class assigned to that variable is double. And also if I want to see what type of data variable it is, I can simply click on that variable and you can see that the type is shown here. So other type of default data types available in MATLAB are integer, like int 8, int 16, int 32, 64, and similarly unsigned int 8, 16, and 32. So if you want to create a variable of say int 8 type, what I will do is I will write p is equal to int 8 and assign it a value of 6. So now if I ask MATLAB again, who's b, you can see that the class assigned to it is 8, int 8. If you want to change the data type of a variable, you can use a function named cast available in MATLAB. So first I will show you the syntax of cast, and you can see that the syntax we need to give is the output b will be the older variable a and the new class which we are assigning to it. So now I will clear my command window and I will assign the C variable cast A into an unsigned int of 8. Now what I want to tell you is that how we can correct the errors in the MATLAB. One of the most important thing is to understand the errors which are thrown up by the MATLAB. So this syntax is kind of what we were looking at. So we have passed an old variable a and converted it to uint8. But if I press enter, we will receive an error, not enough input arguments. So this error generally basically means is that the syntax which we are using is wrong. So I will again write help cast, and you can see that the use of single quotes in the type of new class which we are using for the typecasting. In this example, you will see that single quotes are used. So that's how you can check the errors and resolve them in your code. If I want to access the older command which I passed to the command window, I can simply make use of the upper arrow key. So if I press upper arrow key, you can see all the different commands which I had passed earlier. And I want to use cast uint8 and I will modify it like this. And now if I ask MATLAB who's C, you can see that the A variable, which was earlier assigned a double value, is now changed to the uint8. And the original A still of the double type. Now, if you see the bytes, number of bytes used for the variable, you can see that uint 8 is using 1 byte to store it, and double precision values use 8 bytes to store the same value. These things become important once we are building a code for a particular processor which has a limited memory capability, and then we need to be very specific about how much amount of memory we are using for a particular variable. Now let's cover the next two data types, that is string and character. To make a variable of string type in MATLAB, we can make use of double quotes, and to make a variable of character type, we can make use of single quotes. So I will show you how we can do it. I will take a variable named str, a short form for representing string, and it is used very frequently. So I will assign it a word, hello world, and I will create another variable char of character type using single quotes and assign it a similar value. So you can see that the both the character and strings variable are used for representing the alphabets or words, but the main difference between them is first, if I ask MATLAB who's string and who's char, then the size which they are occupying, for string it is 166 bytes, and for char variable it is only 22 bytes. And the next major difference between these two variables is the way they are stored in memory. So if I ask MATLAB string 1 comma 1, that is the first element of the string type of variable, it will return me an entire word in it, hello world. If I similarly ask MATLAB what is the first element in the character variable, I will only get an alphabet H, the first alphabet. So this can be seen in the workspace as well. So if you see, the size for string variable is 1 comma 1 for 1 into 1. That is, it is occupying only a single place. And for character variable, the size used is 1 into 11. So there are 11 rows and 11 columns and 1 row in this variable. So if I want to make manipulation on the alphabets, I will store the variable as a character type. And if I want to make manipulation on the words, if I want to replace hello with y, I will store it as a string type of variable. Another thing you can do with the string type of variable is you can split them. So I can write split str, and the split function will split the word at the open space, or it can be termed as the white space as well. So hello white space world will be broken into hello and world, and it will create a 2 into 1 array. To see more about the split function, you can write help split, and sorry, I made a spelling mistake, but MATLAB took it as split. So that's what we wanted. And you can see that a new string will be a variable will be created after split string. And if we don't provide any other input to it or input argument to the function, it will just split the string at the white space and assign it into the output array. The next set of operations I want to talk about is how we can convert data types into each other. So if I want to convert an integer to a string and string to integer, how we can do that? So num to str is the function we can use for converting an integer to string or character. You can see that the new variable created answer is of character type here. And similarly, if I want to change string to num, I can simply pass uh, string to the function and it will convert it to the number. Now the variable is assigned a data type of double. An example where this operation would be useful is when you are extracting frames from a video and you want to save those frames with the name of, say, um, frame 1, then next frame to get a value of frame 2. So how you can do that is you can simply add up two strings by using a function string concatenate strcat, and you can pass an frame, the first string, and the next string you can pass it as the frame number, that is 6. Although it is a double as of now, as we just saw in the workspace, we can simply write it as num to str and pass the variable ans in it. And the result we will get is frame number 6. So this is just an example where this type of operation can be useful.